Right. Let's begin our practice with meditation. As you hear the sound of the gong disappear, you may transcend any fears, worries, troubles, concerns that you may have this week. With that next sound disappearing, all the noises in this room disappear, and attention comes to our body, to this home where in breath and the out breath are happening right now, not in the past, not in the future. With that third sound disappearing, let us begin bringing our body to a very much of a resting, relaxed position, adjusting your mid back, lower back, and upper back, kind of making a straight line there, and your neck resting on your spine with a gentle smiling attitude on your face. You also relax your eyes, the thousands of muscles there, and the crown of your head, the back of your head, and gently also relax your shoulders, not too loose, not too tight, just gently relaxed the muscles and entire upper body relaxed, and your sitting bones relaxed. See if you have to adjust your body in any way, like I just did, making sure the sitting for the next 20 to 30 minutes be so less agonizing physically and supportive of a good meditation. You can still continue scanning your body from your sitting bones down to your knees and then to shin bones, your ankles, the soles of your feet, your toes. All these are now getting deeply rooted, deeply connected with the ground below, making a connection with this earth that is huge and vast, taking all dirt out there, people spitting and doing all kinds of things, planting, gardening, digging, constructing various things, protecting, using the earth, water, and the earth completely tolerating all these things. Just like that earth, we develop a mind of harmony, mind of peace, mind of not complaining whatsoever. Now welcome positive energy from the universe into the center of your heart, letting go of all patterns, allowing these old patterns to disappear, dissolve. We begin this meditation with open heart, with an open mind, welcoming what comes our way, be it be tranquility, wisdom, energy, joy, cultivating these qualities, nurturing them with focus, right intention, calm abiding, and open awareness. All the brain activity toward seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting physical sensations, and thinking slowly and gradually disappear from your attention. And somewhat habitually, body defaults into the rhythm of breathing in and breathing out. And our attention grabs onto this natural rhythmic pattern of life. Lungs filling in with air, experiencing all that beauty of wonder of breath happening, not in the past, not in the future, but right now, at this moment. Mindfulness comes in, and we apply that mindfulness to notice this rhythmic nature of breathing in and breathing out. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Now, with the next instruction, please bring your shoulders all the way up as you breathe in and drop your shoulders as you breathe out. Notice the immediate relaxation. It's okay to do a quick scanning of your body to make sure that you are keeping your body in an upright position and moving away from agitations by adjusting your body whenever the body is telling you to adjust, to allow the blood circulation and prevent nerve pinching. We are completely allowing this body to come to a very, very relaxed, very natural, harmonious abiding, and calmly allow your awareness to discover the rhythm of your breath in and out. And whenever you feel distracted, practice the 4 R's. Recognize, release, relax, and return. In a matter of a second, recognize you are distracted. Release that distraction from your attention. Relax your entire body. Return to your breath. Recognize, release, relax, and return. It only takes a moment to do that. Make room for tranquility and calmness in your body, in each cell under the skin, permeating your body with more and more tranquility. Breath becomes music to this relaxing soul of ours. Tranquilizing this body Continue to breathe in, continue to breathe out. However subtle your breath becomes, you notice it. Stay aware of its disappearance and reappearance in your experience, and allow the body to completely relax and disappear from your attention, moving to the mind realm, the domain of your mind, the light and the radiance, the connection it has with this universe. As the day is just starting for us here, the radiance of the sun and the radiance of our mind, two different radiances. They are each very unique, centered around their own energies. They each have the ability to master the domain they are in. And the breath becomes just a mode of expression for this mind to express its tranquility and relaxation. Slow and calm, peaceful and full of stillness. Now begin to come out of your meditation and also begin to stretch as needed. Thank you for meditating together. So, today I wanted to, on Saturdays, I usually speak about just random stuff. Today I wanted to talk about dreams. For some reasons, I have been thinking about dreams lately, especially since early this year. I have been having some dreams that I think have some deep connection with my emotional side. In one of these dreams, I was walking in a jungle with another monk, and we came across this mm, pond with clear waters, and there were crocodiles lurking from one side, and my monk friend walked through it to the other side. But crocodiles kind of did not wake up by then. They were just like not actively looking at us. But then it was my turn to walk through, but I was reluctant. Um, and for us, the only way was to wade through, was through. We had to walk through that water. Um, and then I looked up, and there was this anaconda, like huge snake on that tree, not looking at me, but up there in that tree, going upward somewhere, curling. Um, and I knew clearly that there was no immediate harm to me. If I put myself into the water, I may get in trouble. So there was this uncertainty, unpredictability, and also kind of stuckness that if I stayed there, I was in danger from some direction. So those days I was going through some anxiety issues, and I was associating this. Well, when I woke up in the morning, I remembered all the details of this dream. I do think that I can remember the details of the dream because I have been meditating a lot lately. So it helps to remember these details. I interpreted it as some emotional um, challenges I was going through, anxiety included, and how I saw that my other monk was able to navigate with those challenges easily, and how I compared myself with his presence, um, but with wisdom lately, as I was interpreting it I hope somewhat correctly that none of that is true, that was just only revealing this side of me um, that I was aware of, that I was not stopping anything I had been doing, um, but taking it as a message to be aware of things and and just be authentic. That's so I take it as a beautiful dream, and I have not had many other. I have had other dreams, but this is a very recent thing that I became aware of. I've had dreams, but they did not have any impact on my life. Um, to my family, to my mom or my dad or my teacher, no one was affected by the dreams that I had. So there, I ignored these dreams. Uh, Not that I've had too many dreams also, or just did not remember them. I've also had these lucid dreams, some beautiful ones. In one of those, I was levitating through trees once and went all the way up to the heaven in dream and entered through the heaven's gate. And there was this beautiful white bull welcoming me there. And that's a separate dream. And in this other dream, I was levitating on Ganges River on very beautiful white rocks. But I was close to water, but not touching water. And I did see people bathing and doing their activities. This was a rocky area. And late up until this day in my life, I have been revisiting that dream every time I see rocks of that formation in images or in my real life. I did visit Ganges River early this year in Rishikesh. So it was so beautiful to revisit the memory of that dream. So um, I've had another levitating dream also going like above trees and just seeing that it felt like a real experience, but I was comfortable just when wherever I wanted to go, I just went, and I was not fearful at all. So these dreams um, are very inspiring sometimes. Those dreams that I could levitate, because I wasn't sure what they were trying to tell me, but I just liked the experience. But I do know at the back of my head that awakened minds, like the Buddhas and enlightened monks, they don't have dreams because of the purity of their minds. So this is definitely showing an impure side of me that I should be more awakened into. And I'm okay with that, just to be be with whatever it is that my mind is dealing with. But enlightened minds are so pure that they don't have any reason to dream about things, that they have gone beyond that state of cluttered mind. And they also have a kind of fearlessness that they have experienced specifically by seeing the truth about fear. Not that they want to expose themselves to fire or heights necessarily, but they have seen the false nature of fear and how it is a mind construct, and that there is nothing that it can do to you. And only by realizing the truth about it, there is liberation from it. Anytime fear can creep in, they know the truth about it. But before the Buddha became enlightened, he had moments when he was frightened in the forest. He has stated clearly to monks, especially in this sutra called Noble Quest. He was in search of truth, and he heard branches breaking in the forest, and he had two options. He could just run from it, or he could just investigate. If he chose to run, he is just believing what his mind told him. If he chose to investigate, he just truly learns that there is a wild animal there, and it was not anything that he imagined of. He or a ghost or anything. It was just this animal enjoying its life. So some of all these encounters he shared really helped me personally to see that, oh, when anything emotionally bothering you, anything that is fearsome, when your mind is dealing with them, we can just face it, investigate, and accept only the truth. And that is so liberating. But I do want to also share that um, before the Buddha was born as Prince Siddhartha, his mom had a big dream. Um, well, before even he was conceived, she had a dream that um, a white elephant with a lotus at the tip of his trunk circumambulated her 3 times while she was sleeping and entered her belly. And and these 4 protective deities carried the heavenly prince into the womb, and that is the dream she had, and that the Brahmins who interpreted the dream said, "You are going to have a son who has so much merits." So those that is one instance where they discuss about dreams in Buddhism. And there is also um, a Jataka story called Mahasupina Jataka that's about great dreams. And these dreams are associated with King Kosala, who had 16 dreams, and how the Buddha interpreted these dreams. And some of these dreams involved how rocks are floating while empty things just submerge, like things that are supposed to be floating in water, they just go under the water. And the Buddha said, uh, in interpreting that dream, the Buddha responded, saying, in the future, great king, people who have hollow, nothing empty, uh, they just thrive, reigning the world, while those that have value just are ignored. And it's like fake gold. There's no, it's not true gold, but it looks so true. And just like that, real, genuine, true people don't have space and voice in that kind of a future. So it's fascinating to understand how the Buddha looked at these dreams. So there have been also dreams that the Buddha interpreted as voices from hell, du, sa, na, so that kind of voices that a king came and reported to the Buddha, and the Buddha said, some of your past relatives are asking for merits. It's time to organize something that is huge and something merit making and transfer merit to these relatives, and they will transform their their beings to a happier state. So all these dreams are about mind, and of course, people who do have dreams know that they are fabrications of the mind and only just a piece of it that we tend to remember. Some people have had dreams of winning lotteries, and some people have woken up with nightmares, and some people have had some premonitions about future events. Like before the tsunami happened in 2004, the year I became a monk. I didn't have any dreams, but people told us that they have had dreams of this happening, but not believing that it will happen. But it did. But the Buddha has said in this small sutra that describes 11 benefits of practicing loving kindness as a meditation, that someone who has so much loving kindness toward themselves and others will not have nightmares. The Buddha says, "Na papakang supinang passati." They will not see evil dreams. So my dreams have never been evil that way, and I think that may be because I do try to cultivate loving kindness the entire time. I've never woken up with dreams like that. So that's a blessing. And some people have experienced ghosts and spirits. I have never experienced them. Whenever people say they have fear of ghosts, I would go to them and I would chant the Buddha's chantings, Metta Sutta, Ratana Sutta, and Mangala Sutta, and sprinkle water and ask those spirits to be happy and find a happier place, that they deserve better. So I have experienced people telling that, oh, after doing that, they did not experience any such incidents in their homes. So that's about not about necessarily about dreams, but about people experiencing various things in their households, and that they can experience fear, nightmares, after these encounters. But I do believe that uh, trust in truth, trust in awakened minds can give us so much confidence. So I do also have this habit. I have had this habit of reciting this one verse before going to bed, and I don't do it now as much as I used to. And in it says, Jayo Munindasa Subodhi Mule. Muninda is the Buddha. He had victory under the Bodhi tree. Ahosi Maras Parajayahi, the evil one, the Mara, he had defeat. Ugho Sayundeva Gana Pasanna, all the heavenly beings rejoiced in this victory. Etena Sachena Jayasmayhang, by the power of that truth, may I have victory too. So that gave me confidence. Before even sitting for exams, I did that. It just came to it like a prayer. um, but nothing else. It's just that. Some people have prayers before going to bed. And to me, letting go of having to chant that also was victory. That I didn't have to think about having to go to that pattern, to a habit of having to think that I have to do something so that I have protection for this, for that. But letting go of all those mental constructs was liberation in some ways to me. If you know what I mean. Sometimes we want to, like my dad used to light candles, oil lamps, um, to various deities that were little statues of them. Um, it's like kind of Buddhism mixed up with the Hindu practices. So there were Vishnu, Ganesha, and all these little deities. And he believed if he forget to do that, he will be punished at night. So I believe that letting go of these mental constructs, especially that are associated with fears, is somewhat liberating. So he's now a Buddhist monk. He doesn't do any of that. So I love that he transcended these fears and worries. So it helps us to keep a mind that is, of course, clear, and the life becomes a dreamlike life where there is no need to hold on to these same worries and anxieties and fears that someone may have held for a long, long time. Anyway, that's about all that I will share this morning. Um, I hope you found it interesting. course, of course, you're very welcome. Yeah, so have a wonderful rest of your day. You're welcome. You're welcome.